Welcome back to Hope and Tarot. I'm Hope, and the card we're discussing today is the Justice card, number 11 of the Major Arcana. You reap what you sow is the phrase that immediately comes to mind when I see this card. Its presence often brings about life lessons that need to be learned. It's about getting back the same energy that you've put in, and resolutions, both welcomed and unwelcomed. The Justice card is also associated with legal matters and contracts of all kind, including the technical paperwork aspects of things like getting married, separated, or divorced. The surrounding cards can clarify exactly what the topic is. Whether it's a moral matter, a legal matter, a company policy, or all of those things, this card calls upon the questioner to pay attention to details and to ensure that their own individual needs are in balance with the greater good. Being assigned to the astrological sign of Libra brings to mind concepts like balancing the scales and being diplomatic. The Justice card reminds me of a more decisive Libra who has discovered their sign's true purpose, which is to be able to maintain inner balance even when they're surrounded by imbalances around them. That's something that the Justice card achieves through the application of natural law, whether that's gravity or electric universe, and in some instances, the application of case law. I brought out some stones that you can use in trying to channel the Justice card's energy. Here we've got Tiger's Eye for balance and knowledge. They say that the eye in Tiger's Eye is all-seeing and all-knowing. I've got clear quartz over here to represent seeing the light and connecting to one's highest state. And here we've got ruby zoisite for restoration of balance and resolutions. In some decks, the Justice card is numbered 8 and not 11 like it is in the deck that we're using today. This is a numerical difference that I explore in detail in another video. In this deck, the African American deck, and for our purposes today, we'll think of it as being number 11. In numerology, the number 11 is considered to be both the number 11 and the number 2, because in numerology, you're supposed to break down the number into its one-digit form. So with 11, you have 1 plus 1 equals 2, okay? So what that means is that the Justice card carries a duality, a blended energy of the 2s and 11, and 11 is considered to be a master number that signifies knowledge coming from a higher source. So it really relates back to the meaning here. And just a side note, if you ever see 2s repeated or 11s repeated, know that it's meaningful synchronicity in your life that you should pay attention to. It could be your guardian angels letting you know they're there to protect you or to help you with making a decision. In this deck, the African American Tarot deck, Justice card is illustrated as Oshasi, with this bow pointed outward towards the forest as the crowds cheer in the background. We met Oshasi before in the Afro-Brazilian deck, which is a different deck. The story is that he was the forest scout and hunter who fed the people and was also an enforcer of justice. Like the Justice card, Oshasi is fueled by protection of humanity and a sense of duty. Some people will light a prayer candle for him when they have a pending court case or judgment coming up for spiritual support or in hopes that it will help to sway the outcome. One thing that always catches my eye in this card is this beautiful flowering plant in the lower center. The petals here are kind of spiky shaped and a reddish color, similar to his bag of arrows here. And that red is kind of here to remind us that the fire, the power, the strength, and the decisiveness that lies behind the mighty, indomitable hand or bow of justice. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the Justice card is wearing a big red robe and is often described as being a wise woman. I consider this card to be the perfect embodiment of two sides of the same coin, well balanced, without bias. You'll see that both versions here in this deck and the Rider-Waite-Smith deck show a discerning figure who can clearly read people and situations. They're not blind to nuance and can judge a case on its individual merits. When you get this card in a reading, just know that the universe is making adjustments to bring things back to the center. It's evening up the score without too much consideration for your personal preferences. Seeing as the Justice card is sometimes depicted as being between two pillars of severity and mercy, this card can be interpreted as having a little more compassion and empathy, depending on the position and surrounding cards, and sometimes the deck that you're using. But in general, there's a dispassionate nature to the Justice card, so the outcome can feel like either a punishment or a reward, depending on the circumstances. If you've already done your wrongs and are experiencing the consequences now, know that it's never too late to start doing the right thing for yourself or others. The Justice card is supporting you in doing what needs to be done. To paraphrase, be fair, do what you're supposed to do, read the fine print, and keep your wits about you as the universe renders its verdict on the matter. That's all for the Justice card today. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you can know when the next video is posted. And comment below if you have any questions or any comments about the card. Have a great day.